warm good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of Direct Tax Committee, I, CA Ashish Agrawal, MCM of Nagpur branch, extend a heartfelt welcome to one and all present here. Today's topic, AI in income tax. Income tax, one of the oldest form of practice, and AI, the newest form of practice. It's like an amalgamation of the old and new ones. And this is possible through Direct Tax Committee. With this, I would like to introduce the chairman of our Direct Tax Committee, CA Piyush Chajed sir. He's a senior partner at Mrs. Chajed Doshi, chartered accountant with 25 years of experience. He holds BCom, FCA, DISA qualification from Mumbai. He served as an ICI Central Council member from 2022 to 25 and now from 25 to 29. He is currently chairman of Direct Tax Committee and vice chairman of Expert Advisory. He served on boards of Wimplas Limited, Celloworld, and Multibase Limited. With this, I welcome you, sir, and request for your 2 words of wisdom. Over to you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Piyush, sir.
Thank you very much, CA Ashish Agarwal, who is a managing committee member of Nagpur branch and of WRC, and also moderating this session. Thank you very much, Nikunj, my friend, a very close friend, and who has been always available to the institute's any work and expert in I would say technology when it comes to technology, forensics, data analytics. He's an expert whom I look personally also look forward to for all my such issues whenever I encounter when it is technology related. Thank you very much, Nikunj, for joining us and accepting our invitation. I know this is in fact the second session of yours, and in the first session we had a very great feedback wherein the officers of CAG had also joined and they also liked your session very well, basically how to use artificial intelligence for your direct tax concepts. And a very good afternoon to all my members who have joined. I know it's an amidst of crisis, I would say, and a lot of people have also gone and they are also speaking on the social media about tax audit extension, what's going to happen, what is the institute doing in this regard, what is the leadership president's office has done. So briefly, obviously, I've already clarified what were the steps taken by ICI, but being now online, I thought I would just reiterate stating that after our representation, which we had made on 17th of September for the date extension, on 20, we had also come out with an announcement whereby the members, we got more than 1,200 queries from the members, bringing out the technical glitches and portals along with the screenshots. So they were already sent to the member legislation and member systems also for looking into that. And thereafter, we were also personally talking to Under Secretary. And in fact, even today, yesterday also, I spoke to him today. Every day we are talking to them. And of course, we were given the feedback that your representations are being considered. But obviously, the matter has now become a sub judice. It's already gone to the courts. Various associations, chartered accountants bodies, members bodies have already gone to the court. And it's in public domain what's happening. And I believe the outcome should be there today or maybe by tomorrow. Some positive news should be there in this regard. But my only request to all your members would be obviously, I do understand your concerns which has taken place, and whether you have people do feel that unless we would have not gone to judiciary, this would who has actually directed CBDT to consider our demands. Otherwise, it would have not happened. Yes, it may look like that, but my only concern to you is, yes, please keep doing work. Don't take much pressure, obviously. And as a direct tax professional, of course, being a chairman of direct tax committee, but as a direct tax professional also, and been litigating for last 25 years, I believe even if the tax audits are not fall within a time period, technically you have a reasonable clause of Section 273 capital B, wherein time and again it has been held that if the audit reports are not signed by an auditor, assessee cannot be impose a penalty under 271 capital B. So you may have a recourse to that. And therefore, I always request that irrespective, we should not compromise on the quality. So I think so. We should be more concentrated on the quality, that we do not compromise on that and we complete the assignments, whether we are able to complete within time or not. We should try to do it. But of course, I believe this issue may not arise now if CBDT comes with some positive news, maybe today or tomorrow. But still, even after the date extension, a situation may arise in certain cases where you would feel that still we are not able to look into it or clear. But I always tell my team also, and everywhere, whenever I go, whenever I deliver a lecture, that quality is a paramount for which we have been trusted. And that's why we have been given this responsibility of conducting tax audit. And I repeat, only chartered accountants, nobody else are allowed to do tax audit, even after there's so many strong representations been made by other professional bodies. That is because the trust which has been carried out, trust which has been placed on the chartered accountants, and therefore, irrespective of the dates, what happens, whatever pressures we are working under, I always say that the quality should not be compromised. That's my small request to all the members. And definitely, the matters have been seized by all the bodies also, and I'm sure this positive result should come by today or tomorrow. So I thought I'll just take this opportunity to interact with the members. And thank you very much once again. Thank you. Over to you, Ashish ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words and the updates about the income tax extension. With this, I would like to go forward with the introduction of our next authority, CA Vishnu Kumar Agrawal, sir. He's a chartered accountant with over 2 decades of experience, a BCom, FCA, and DISA qualified professional. He was a Central Council member of ICAI, presently 2025 to 2029. He's a vice chairman of CPE and direct tax committees. He specialized in income tax litigation. He's a renowned speaker on direct
Ashish
tax.
ji, I think so. Vishnu is not joining, no?
Achha, Vishnu sir is not there, sir. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So we can directly continue with Nikunj. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Now it's time to introduce our today's speaker who will be enlightening us. He's a chartered accountant since 2002 with qualification in law, DISA, CIA USA, and ACFE USA. He's a partner at Shashikant J. Shah and Company, focusing on forensic audit, assurance analytics, and ITGC audit. He acts as an expert witness in financial fraud cases before Mumbai High Court. He investigates insider trading, money laundering, procurement fraud, cyber crimes, and fund diversion. He has delivered more than 300 lectures and many workshops. He is a contributor to ICI publication and also holds an MA in politics with interest in IT governance, philosophy, gardening, and dramatics. With this, I will extend my welcome to our today's speaker and handing over the session to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Nikun, sir.
Thank you, Ashish bhai. Very, very kind words. And at the outset, I would like to express my very deep and sincere gratitude to ICI in general and Shri Piyush bhai and Shri Vishnu ji in particular for having me here, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts, share my experience with participants, with professional brothers and sisters across India on this so very relevant topic of using AI for tax practice. A very hearty thanks to Ashish bhai also once again for very, very kind words of introduction. But at the same time, Ashish bhai, I would like to express a small grudge because you missed out to read a very important aspect about me. I had written there, but in spite of this, it was missed out. You forgot to tell this August gathering that I was also the captain of my kabaddi team in class 7. This may please be noted by one and all. So, okay, so
I'll make sure to include it next time, sir.
Here we are today. AI for tax practice, a very, very important area. All my tax knowledge in practical real world, that whatever I have practiced in real life has been supported with the help of stalwarts in the profession, which includes Piyush bhai, which includes our past president, CA Nihar bhai also. And I have been blessed to be around in the company of these stalwarts for direct tax learning, understanding from them this area. And now there's one more person. I mean, there is not one more person as such, but there is AI, artificial intelligence, which is here to tell us that, hey, even I can be of help to you. Even I can be of help to you, is what AI is telling us today. What is the kind of help that we can expect from AI? Let us dwell into this topic and before we, start using AI, and this entire session, I will try to make it as practical as possible. But before we start using AI and we go to practical case studies, let us first try to understand how AI is so very different from all other IT based applications that have been helping us till date, till about maybe a couple of years back, in all our practice areas, whether it is audit, whether it is tax. Use of technology for profession is not something new. Okay, we have been using so many tools, so many applications, so many platforms, all IT based in our practice since now, we can say, time immemorial. So we are already doing this, and AI suddenly comes and says, hello, now consider using me also. I'm also here to help. What makes AI so different from all other IT-based applications, platforms, or systems that we have been using in our profession? Let me share a personal experience with my professional brothers and sisters over here. Um, point number one. Point number one. The year was 2000, and I was reading the Times of India. A small column caught my attention. It said that Honda company has created a robot, and the name is Asimo, and this is the world's first robot which works on artificial intelligence. I'm talking about year 2000. World's first robot working on artificial intelligence created by the Honda company. Asimo is its name. And Asimo is doing rounds across the globe. And while doing its rounds across the globe, it has come to India in the city of Mumbai. And while it is in Mumbai, that Asimo G is Asimo G, right. Asimo G is slated to interact with students of a municipal school at Vile Parle in Mumbai. I also stay at Vile Parle in Mumbai, and this I thought this is a very lucky coincidence, and all are invited to meet and greet Asimo. Wow, super! Today is my lucky day. It looks like so. Morning 10 a.m. next day, there was a meet and greet session. I went to the local municipal school at Vile Parle where Asimo was present. While I reached there, I saw Asimo playing football with class 6 students. It was a very perplexing. It was a very perplexing scene where it was a very perplexing scene where I noticed that Asimo is playing football with humans. The chief spokesperson of this Project Asimo, came to the stage and he said that Asimo is world's first robot which works on AI, and now we are going to demonstrate his skills in because it is powered by AI. So Asimo was asked to cross a busy road at Mumbai. Asimo was asked to cross a very busy road at Mumbai, and Asimo belongs to Japan, where the traffic rules are very different from the traffic rules in Mumbai. So whatever traffic rules, yes, we have in Mumbai, they are significantly different, because in Japan, the traffic moves from left to right, while in India, Mumbai, the traffic moves from right to left. So Asimo had its own rules in mind, the traffic moving from left to right, and Asimo tried to cross the road by first looking left, then looking right, and then again left and crossing the road. A car from the right side came, and Asimo met with an accident. Asimo fell down. We could actually see this. Next day, same Asimo, same busy street, and the spokesperson asked Asimo to cross the road. And this time, Asimo was able to cross the road successfully. Wow. The spokesperson of this project came to the stage and announced that with Asimo powered by AI, we have broken the last human frontier. The last technological barrier has now been broken with AI powered robots, where, and this is the most important aspect, where Asimo and artificial intelligence is able to learn things by themselves, learn things based on their experience. Once Asimo experienced the traffic of Mumbai, it learned by itself that the traffic rules in Mumbai are different from the traffic rules of Japan. This need not be programmed in Asimo. A new rule. See, most computers, most applications work based on rules that need to be programmed. They can do calculations fast, this, that. Okay, all that is okay. But the most important part, the most essential part is that they need to be programmed. Now, Asimo need not be programmed. Wow, it is learning new rules by itself. However, the spokesperson also made one more announcement. He said that although the last human barrier is broken, the last technology barrier is broken, and we have been able to design machines which can learn things by themselves, however, there is a challenge, and the challenge is, and you're listening to me very carefully, and the challenge is that Asimo is able to learn only as many things as a 12-year-old human can learn. In spite of about 15 years of research in artificial intelligence, we have been able to design a mind, a brain capable of learning only as many things as a 12-year-old human being, nothing more. And if we were to extrapolate this data, then it will take us at least And if we were able to extrapolate this data, then it will take us at least another 40 years to make a human mind, to make a computer mind learn as many things as a 25-year-old mature human can learn on itself. This was the announcement made in 2000 that it will take us at least 40 years to make a computer that has a mind capable of learning as many things and all such things that a human aged 25 is capable of learning. Well, today we are in 2025. It's been just about 25 years, and applications like ChatGPT are already around. Since past now about a couple of years, which are capable of learning things by themselves, by their experiences. What kind of things? Forget about a 25-year-old human, but they can learn things by themselves and think like humans. They are machines, but they can think like humans. They have intelligence like humans, like like a mature professional, aged maybe 40 years. Wow, super. So the the prediction that the spokesperson at Honda made for the long term, for it said it will take us 40 years. Well, as a human race, we were able to accomplish this in just about 23 or even less number of years. Now, I would like to take a pause. Now that we know that applications based on AI, like Perplexity, like ChatGPT, are capable of learning new things like income tax, law, and practice. They are able to learn tax laws, and tax laws is just one of the areas that I'm talking about. Both theory and practice by themselves. I want to take a pause over here and I want to ask this August gathering whether this fact that ChatGPT or Perplexity, which are powered by AI, can learn things by themselves, this fact in itself is good news for us or bad news for us. Is this good news or bad news? Ashishji, I don't know whether we can make this interactive, but are participants able to give their thoughts or give their views in some way that I can maybe read or something like that? Is that possible?
So I will ask to the tech support. Is it possible, sir, to make the things interactive? Is it possible to make things interactive with the members
Can
who are attending the
participants
session?
simply type out their response to a question that I'm asking? Is this possible? Okay, no problem, no problem. So Ashishji, next time we make this two-way communication, maybe, and all of us will benefit. I will
Sure, sir.
benefit
Sure.
from the views of participants also, and while participants can have the pleasure to not just to listen but to participate in an interactive session.
So we are getting regular questions, and if you allow, they can put up some suggestions also, which I will be forwarding to you.
Okay, so good, good. Okay, so participants, please feel free to share your thoughts with the administrator, the convener of this particular program, and they shall forward things to me. Okay, so whether this is good news or bad news that ChatGPT Perplexity based tools can learn income tax law, income tax practice. And when I talk about income tax law, I'm not talking just about preparing a statement of total income. I'm talking about putting forth um, appeal related matters also, arguing them out, okay, or presenting grounds of appeals, statements of facts. All these things Chat GPT or Perplexity can learn by itself, responding to notices. They can learn by themselves. Okay, this in itself is good news or bad news for us. Okay, so all of us have their own views, and there are people who believe that this is bad news because it may lead to direct loss of practice, that professionals may sooner or later not be required. Let me draw a parallel over here. Let me draw a parallel over here. I was at Delhi a few months back, and while I was at Delhi, I had a lecture in the morning, so I arrived in the evening itself. And when I checked into hotel room, I realized that I was feeling a little feverish. You know, I checked the temperature. There was no temperature, but still I was feeling a little low, feverish, low on energy, and sneezing constantly. So Delhi is a new city for me. I don't know any medical practitioners. What do I do? So I opened ChatGPT, and ChatGPT knows several things about me now. So I told ChatGPT that now I'm here at Delhi. I'm here at Delhi, and I'm feeling a little low, feverish. I'm feeling uh, sick and constantly sneezing, coughing. What should I do? So ChatGPT in turn prescribed 3 tablets. Okay, so what to do? So I noted down those 3 tablets, and I went to the nearby medical store, purchased them, and so that is the point. Should I or should I not be having those 3 tablets? I don't know. I don't know. So again, I would like to know from you that whether I should just simply rely on ChatGPT and maybe consume those medication? Yes or no? So this question I asked to the audience in Delhi the very next day in the program. So I asked them that, what do you think? Should I or should I not? So again, there was a mixed reaction, and some people said, sir, it is most likely that you did not consume the tablets because you are now in front of us. So you are safe. And maybe you did not consume the tablets. So I said that this is a very interesting way to present your thought. At the same time, it is now very, very evident that several jobs are being lost to technology, not to humans, not to bigger firms, but several jobs are being lost to technology. For example, when I started traveling in aircrafts, I noticed that in the cockpit, there is a pilot and there is a navigator, pilot and navigator. And this continued for several years. About 5 years back, when I entered the aircraft and I opened the cabin, I could see only the pilot. There is no navigator, because since past about 10 years, the entire navigation work is taken over by expert GPS based navigation systems. No navigators are required. The job is lost to GPS based expert navigation systems. Okay. So this is what is now happening. Okay. But in another 5 years, when you board the aircraft, and you open the cockpit, there is no navigator. There was no navigator. There will be no pilot. And maybe there will be no air hostess. Okay. Nobody in the aircraft, and the aircraft just closes the doors. And the point is that will we be comfortable traveling in such aircrafts? This is what I asked my participants at Delhi, that will we be comfortable flying in such aircrafts? One of the participants raised hand and said, sir, what are you asking, sir? Because I believe we will be comfortable. I said, why? He said, sir, today for this lecture, we came by Delhi Metro, and Delhi Metro does not have a motorman. So there is no driver, there is no motorman in Delhi Metro, and still we reach destination safely. So if we are traveling today by driverless or motorman-less metros, then it is very obvious that we'll travel by unmanned aircrafts in the not so distant future. In very near future, we will be doing this, and it will not be a surprise. It sounds like a surprise only till the point it has not happened. Once it happens, then it becomes normal in just a fraction of time. In limited period of time, it just becomes normal. It normalizes, and everybody starts following it. The point survives. That ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek, all this AI-based tools are able to, all these AI-based tools are able to learn things by themselves. And in direct tax practice, they may have a profound impact. As of date, it is very difficult to predict whether they will replace professionals or not. However, one thing that goes without saying is, and this is the point I want to make from this introduction, that you will never ever know as of date whether this technology is going to replace chartered accountants or not. But one thing is certain: all chartered accountants who do not use this technology are certainly going to be replaced by chartered accountants who use this technology. The only option that we have today is to simply adapt ourselves and harness the power of AI for our professional practice. This is the only option that we have, and create value by using this tool for our clients. the tool is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Why? Because it is trained on massive amounts of data. Massive, massive amounts of data. A practitioner who is practicing since past 15 years, 20 years, or 30 years may have appeared in, say, for example, a few hundred appeals, or very experienced people may have appeared in a few thousand appeals, but they are no match for AI, which is trained on tax related laws, tax related practice of few millions of appeals, case laws. It is almost impossible to match the breadth and the depth of training of algorithms in AI. Huge, massive databases have been fed to these algorithms, and now they are trained. And now they are trained. The point is whether we realize this and harness the power of AI. I'll give you one more very important example, very important illustration. The other day, I was speaking with a very renowned tax practitioner, and I was talking about the role that AI may have in future and the contribution that AI will make in tax practice. He gives me this feedback that Nikunj, you speak very high of AI's capabilities, but at the same time, let me tell you that I'm not very happy with the output of AI. I said, sir, why? What happened? He said, Nikunj, one of my juniors and I were discussing a matter. The CIT appeal gave a decision against my assessee, and we wanted to move the matter before the tribunal. So I asked my junior to prepare a statement of facts and grounds of appeal. If I were to prepare a statement of facts and grounds of appeal, then I would take at least 2 days. Why? Because it was a very complex matter. So I expected that my junior may take maybe 3 days or something like that. It so happened that in another 25 minutes, he entered my cabin with complete statement of facts and grounds of appeal. It was obvious that he used AI for preparing the statement of facts and grounds of appeal. I went through the statement of facts and grounds of appeal, and I noticed two very important points missed out. I took that example before my entire office, and I announced that going forward, everybody is required to apply their own mind and stop using ChatGPT or Perplexity to prepare grounds of appeal. I would like to take a pause over here. Now look at the approach that some tax practitioners have. When they find out mistakes in, or they find out gaps in the work that is done by AI, they take a stand of stop using artificial intelligence. Why? Because the output is not reliable. Because the output is not complete. Let me contrast this with what? Okay. Thank you, Ashish bhai. As of now, let me contrast this with what people in other domains, in other practice areas are doing. So I have a friend who works in the technology domain. He programs applications, designs, develops, and deploys applications. In his organization, he has made an announcement that if I find any coder or any system designer doing their work without using AI, then I'm going to fire them. Oh, wow. Now look at what's happening. Huh? Ashish bhai, just think about this, what is really happening in other domains. People in the technology profession have embraced AI to an extent that they have made announcements in their organization that they will fire people if they don't use AI. They don't use AI in coding, they don't use AI in systems development, then they're fired. And if we take a stand that because AI outputs are not reliable, don't use AI and read the act and only then do it, then we may be in deep, deep trouble. Another point, Ashish bhai, that one needs to realize is, it may take 3 days for us to prepare grounds of appeal, statement of fact, by thoroughly going through the order, the past submissions, this, that, so on and so forth. However, in 25 minutes, if a junior can prepare statement of facts and grounds of appeal, which on a scale of 0 to 10 is at 0.8, then it will take us maybe another couple of hours to bring that from 8 to 10. Okay, so your entire work is done in now 2 hours 25 minutes, which otherwise could have taken 3 days. Now this is remarkable efficiency. This can also be a point of view. Okay, so my earnest appeal to all my professional brothers and sisters over here. It is quite possible that AI outputs are not complete. There may be gaps. But does this mean that you stop using AI? In my humble opinion and experience, please don't do that. Please ensure that in fact you learn the tricks, techniques of prompt engineering to harness the power of AI. I'm going to talk about prompt engineering in another 12 to 15 minutes when I start practical case studies with all your friends over here. Okay, so the importance of prompt engineering to ensure that the output of AI becomes more and more reliable. There are less and less gaps in it. So how to harness the power of AI with prompt engineering is what I will be talking when I take practical case studies. The point right now I'm going to make is please don't stop using AI for any reason whatsoever. For any reason whatsoever. Number one. Number two, because AIs are so powerful, I can go on and on to compliment their, to talk about their, to give sincere compliments to their abilities. But at the same time, there is one aspect of AI which we must be very, very cautious of. People say that it is one of the major limitations of AI. I would say that it is not a limitation. It's actually a feature of AI. Not a limitation, a feature of AI. For example, the other day, I had a matter before the Honorable Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh Bhopal Tribunal, and the only matter for consideration was whether depreciation, even if not claimed by the assessee, is deemed to be allowed or not. I recollected that there is some judgment by the Honorable Madhya Pradesh High Court on the similar matter in favor of assessee. So I asked ChatGPT that there is some judgment and I forget the citation. Can you please get the citation for me? So it gave the citation. For example, 123 ITR 246, Madhya Pradesh. I quoted it in the paper book, made 3 copies, and I started arguing out the matter. When during the course of my argument, the honorable member drew my attention to the fact that, Nikunj, you have given the citation, but you have not attached the copy of the judgment. I said, sir, this ITR citation, you can get a copy from your library. So he said, no, not like that. Let us get the copy now. So he sent the peon there and there to get a copy of the judgment that I had cited. Half an hour and the person did not return. He returned after 40-45 minutes to say that on that citation, there was no such judgment. The problem with ChatGPT is that, or all AI-based applications, is that they hallucinate. So Ashish, we would have heard so many times about hallucinations. AIs hallucinate. This is their limitation. Actually, it's not limitation, my friend. Okay. The fact that AIs hallucinate is a feature. First of all, let us understand what is hallucination. To hallucinate is to project as fact things that have no relation with facts. Okay. or in short, to bluff. AIs will bluff. Okay. So if you ask something and they don't know the answer, then they will generate that text to give you the answer. Okay. Chat GPT. If somebody knows the full form, then G stands for generative. What are they good at? They're good at generating. If they're generating, then of course, whatever they generate may or may not be true. If it is not true, then you start saying that it is hallucinating. Oh man, it's not hallucinating. It's generating. You wanted an application that generates text, and that is what it is doing. Okay. So a very, very important point that it will continue to hallucinate, it will continue to generate. At the same time, we must be aware about this fact and we must take necessary precautions. What are those necessary precautions? Once again, I will tell you. However, at the same time, just to end this hallucination point is, one of my friends, chartered accountant again, most of my friends are chartered accountants only. What can one do about it? So one of my friends who is a chartered accountant is also a poet. He's also a poet. So every year on his wife's birthday, he writes a poem for his wife, and gives. And wife is happy about it, of course. But this time, when he handed over the poem to the wife, then wife read the poem and for the first time in 15 years, she started praising the poem. That this year you have written exceptionally good poem, my friend. My dear husband. So of course, by this time, Ashish Bhai has realized, right, Ashish Bhai, that this year the poem was written by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This year the poem was written by. Of course, by AI. The message is very clear. What AI is trying to tell us is that we know to please your wife, maybe better than you. Right. Okay. So the point is, Ashish Bhai, when AI writes poems, then at that time, we don't complain that AI is hallucinating. At that time, we say that AI is generating. Okay. So I'm only saying that please don't rubbish AI by saying that AI hallucinates. Generative is a feature of AI. And let it generate. This is what we ask for. Let it generate. Let us have our own precautions in place to ensure that we are not fooled by it. Right? We want it to generate, but we don't want to be fools. And allow me to use this word, Ashish, right? We don't want to be fooled by AI. So this is the background, and as I look at the time, it's just about 30 minutes and we are like through with the background, which leaves another maybe at least about an hour. Ashish bhai, right?
Yes, sir. True.
Super. Which leaves about an hour for us to do some practical on, yes, to do some practicals on how we can harness the power of AI in our tax practice. In fact, I'm going to take very, very specific examples for, we don't want to prepare statement of total income using AI. There are softwares and applications which are already doing it. Okay. So statement of total income banana, ye to sab, just a second. My phone is running on low battery. Just a second. I'll do something about it. Okay. So I think this is fixed. Okay. Where was I?
It's about starting of practical sessions.
About starting practical sessions. So let us make this practical. I'm not talking about using AI for preparing statement of total income. Okay. For preparing statement of total income, we already have application packages where its computational capabilities of pre-programmed logic. So house property का rent अगर इतना आता है, then what is the income from house property? Then somebody has programmed that you put interest figure here, you claim deduction, blah, 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 and this will be income from house property. This is how gross total income is calculated. Pre-programmed logic is good enough for preparing statement of total income. Where do you need intelligence? Where? You need intelligence to present arguments before appellate authorities, before assessment authorities, to present your views, to present your point, to present your part of the story. That is where you need drafting skills. That is where you would want to make submissions. Wow, what better tool can you ask for than using AI for such practice, where it generates text, and with this ability to generate text being trained on some millions of pages of arguments that have been put before appellate or assessing of authorities. So, say for example, our institute's own direct tax GPT. So, Ashish bhai, all of us are aware of the phenomenal work that institute is doing to equip its members, to hone the skills of its members. It is direct tax GPT. What is direct tax GPT? It is a pre-trained algorithm. Pre-trained on what? On millions and millions of pages of tax gyan. Be it case laws, be it acts, be it rules, latest judgments, everything. It is trained. Those algorithms are trained. Where can I use now that direct tax GPT? I can use it to present my arguments. However, the point is that how best we can use it. That is where I am coming from. That how best we can harness the power of this AI. Friend, prompt engineering. Just a little while back, I referred to this particular area. Prompt engineering is the medium, is the technique, is the tool which will enable all of us to harness the power of AI. My earnest appeal to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, people who are in charge of conducting such seminars, upskilling our professional brothers and sisters, is have more and more workshops focused on prompt engineering. The ability to give directions to the AI tool. How you should give directions to the AI tool so that it accomplishes what you want it to accomplish. Let me take a very simple example of how not to give prompts. What are prompts? Prompts are simple conversations that you initiate for AI to help you on something. For example, you ask ChatGPT or Perplexity, please make a picture of a person in front of a bank. 1 second. You are asking ChatGPT, make a picture of a person in front of a bank. Do this right now also. And for 99% of the cases, you will see that the person is a male. The person is a male. And bank is a commercial bank, not a river bank. Hey, what's going on here? Actually, I wanted ChatGPT to make a picture of a young girl on a river bank. But ChatGPT is giving me some crap. It is drawing person that is a male in front of a commercial bank. The first point, Ashish Bhai, I want all my members to note is, in the world of AI, specific is terrific. Give specific, detailed background to ChatGPT. Please tell the AI all details about the background. For example, let us come to a real life practical case. I filed a return of income of a private discretionary trust, PDT, an irrevocable PDT, where there was dividend income. Okay. And dividend income, like any other income, has to be taxed at MMR in case of a private discretionary trust. I filed the return of income and 143(1)(a) intimation followed in about 12 days. When I saw the intimation, I was unhappy. Why? Because they not only tax the dividend income at the maximum marginal rate, most importantly, the department taxed, applied the surcharge rate also at the maximum marginal rate. Now, if you look at the income tax law, then the surcharge is capped. That surcharge, that is maximum marginal rate, includes only the slab rate, not surcharge. But 143(1)(a) put surcharge also at max. Now, obviously, I was not happy with this. And two options before me. Number one, I can maybe file for a rectification. And number two, I can go for appeal. So, Ashish Bhai, what my common sense suggests me, whatever little knowledge of technology that I have, what it suggests me is, if I file for rectification, the rectification is also going to be done by the same IT system which did the initial processing of the return. So if I file for rectification, it is most likely that I will get the same response. Which means if I were to be effective, that is, if I want it to be heard, then I must go for appeal. Which means I want to file for an appeal Form 35 along with statement of facts and ground of appeal. Super. Now, this is exactly where I believe we can start using AI. You give the complete background to AI of the matter. Number one, give full details, and I'm going to talk about whether to give details about assessee name, the amounts, so on and so forth. Which means, what about confidentiality and data privacy? I'm going to deal this with separately. For the time being, give full details about the matter. Number one. Number two. Specify how you want the AI to act. For example, if I tell somebody that prepare statement of facts and grounds of appeal, that somebody will prepare statement of facts and grounds of appeal considering their all level of competence and experience. If you tell this to AI that prepare statement of facts and grounds of appeal, then what is AI? AI is what you tell it to act as. So if I tell AI that act as a 30-year-old senior, a 30 years experienced senior tax professional. So senior tax professional having experience at least of 30 years and draft grounds of appeal and statement of fact, which follows a pattern and format that is acceptable to Indian appellate authorities. Wow. Super. See, the second point that I'm making is tell AI what role you want the AI to play. Sometimes you may want AI to play the role of a teacher. For example, in understanding concept. So if you give a FEMA circular to AI and say, what does this mean? Then you may get some very cryptic output. But if you give this FEMA circular to AI and say that act like a seasoned professional having experience in cross-border transactions and interpret this circular in a way that a budding chartered accountant can understand. Wow. Super. See, then it will come down to a level of teacher. Why? Because you have asked it to act in a way that the output can be understood by a budding chartered accountant, a fresh chartered accountant. So it will act like a seasoned professional and explain like a teacher. Super. This is what you want from it. Your output that AI will give you will be next level. You can also say, like what my child, 15-year-old, when he puts a philosophical passage to AI, he puts the passage and says, explain it to me like a 6-year-old can understand. Super. Then AI will explain that complex philosophical passage in a way that a 6-year-old child can understand. Wow. The last part of prompt engineering is defining the format in which you want the output. For example, in explain to me in a tabular format. Then it will prepare tables that this is argument for, this is argument against, so on and so forth. Or you say, explain this to me in a paragraph format. Prepare a visual for this. Super. Otherwise, how will AI know? How would you like to understand this? Ashish bhai, I would want to take a small break and thank you for being online. It's very difficult to talk to IP addresses. At least now I'm speaking to one of the face and you are there on the screen. Thank you. It means a lot. No, sir,
I will be there till the end, sir.
Sorry.
I will be there with you, sir. No
Super. That would be helpful. Because for 2 long hours, it is difficult to talk to IP addresses, you know.
I understand.
Right. Okay. 3 things about prompt engineering that I said. No rocket science here. This is simple. Number one is that specific is terrific. Give full details, the background of the issue. Why? So that you can, and now I'm going to use a technical term, Ashish bhai, you can eliminate the biases that AI would otherwise have. For example, person in front of bank, the person in 99% of the times is a male. Why? Is a bias. Why is there a bias towards the male gender? Because most likely it is trained on data where most of the data is relevant to males. Or in that data, it is the male gender which comes more often than not. So the AI becomes biased. The bias is because of the training data. Second thing is bank. What bank? So the most of the training data that was given to AI had bank as a commercial bank. If you don't give the details, the specific details, that by bank you mean river bank, and by person you mean a lady or a girl, then you will not get the desired output. So specific is terrific, number one. Number two, tell AI what it should act like. Act like a seasoned professional, act like a teacher. And number three, also tell AI what format you need the output. I want the output in paragraph format, in tabular format, in graphics, so on and so forth. Simple prompt engineering rules. Rules are always simple. The challenge is its application. Okay, so let us come to a practical case study. I will just open that file in front of you, the prompt that I gave, and let us see what kind of results ChatGPT gave to me when I gave that prompt to ChatGPT. Okay. Meanwhile, whatever I've said so far, and if I look at the time, it's already 1 hour, and we are like super going perfectly as targeted. Whatever I've said so far, in case you have any questions, then feel free to ask them. The technical will forward it to Ashish ji, and Ashish ji will respond to the questions. And my good friend, sir, I'm taking that liberty. And of course, I said it in the lighter way. Ashish bhai will be kind enough to forward them to me, and I will be more than happy to respond to them to the best of my capabilities, to the best of my capabilities. Chalo.
Sure, sir.
So let us come to just a second. I'll take a moment to change the devices. I'll take a moment. Just a second. Ashish bhai. Okay. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
No, no problem. Logged in from another device, my computer now. So right. No issues. No issues at all. Okay, and I would now need to share the screen. I would now need to share the screen. So Ashish bhai asked me in the beginning that Nikunji, do you have any PowerPoint presentations? Okay. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but I have a lot of material for all my friends over here. Share screen. I click share screen. So here we are on the first case study. Ashish, can you please confirm whether you are able to see my screen? Ashish,
Yes, sir.
you're able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, okay. So the first case study for the day, let us go through. It says drafting of appeal, and that's where I said we can best harness the power of AI. Maybe 3 days work we can do in 25 minutes, and I've all talked about all the caveats that you must take before you finally the gaps that may be there, or most importantly hallucinations. Okay, so here we are. Let us look at this exercise. So the assessee is a PDT, filed its income tax return for relevant assessment year, declaring income comprising of dividends and capital gains, and duly discharged the corresponding tax liability, including applicable surcharge and cess. Upon processing, the assessee received intimation under 143(1) of the income tax where demand was raised. On detailed examination, it was observed that the discrepancy arose due to an incorrect computation of surcharge. While the assessee had correctly applied a capped surcharge of 15% as per Finance Act, the centralized processing center erroneously levied a higher surcharge of 37% applicable to other categories of income. Super. Ashish, when I wanted to appeal against this matter, there were two broad ways in which I could have done my job. The first is just give 143(1) and ITR to AI and ask AI to draft an appeal. It will do a job. Why? Because I've told it, no, it's a good servant. So it will do the job. But this is not what I would really want AI to do. I would want AI to give me some very qualitative output, professional level. And so just as much I want AI to work, I will also work along with AI by giving it specific details. By telling AI that here is 143(1), at the same time, in 143(1), this is what I believe has gone wrong. Maybe AI would have figured out. But if I want AI to do a good drafting work for me, let me give AI the specific background in so many words that AI is able to understand things easily. Recognizing the apparent computational error, the assessee promptly filed a rectification. However, the rectification was processed without any modification and excessive surcharge demand remained unaltered. Now, considering the above facts and intimation and rectification order that I uploaded, draft an appeal before CIT that challenges the levy of surcharge at 37%, summarizes the statement of facts and legal arguments, requires that surcharge on dividend income to be capped at 15%, includes relevant laws, procedural violations, and case laws. Ensure the appeal is persuasive and formatted as per legal submission guidelines. Super. Super. Gave this prompt to ChatGPT over here. And after uploading the file, giving the prompt, here is the output by ChatGPT. Before the Commissioner of Income Tax, in the matter of appeal, appellant Messrs PDT, I took care to to omit the name of the assessee. Friends, I would like to take a pause over here and would like to share something which is very, very important for all of us to respect as fellow professionals. And the respect, and I'm talking about the respect for the confidentiality of clients' data. What an AI will do to the data that you upload? It will use it for training purpose. Definitely it will use it for training. If not immediately, then in near future. But it is certainly going to use it for training purpose. Whether the confidentiality will be compromised, I will say that is the second question, to which we need not go. I'm only saying that if you believe as a professional that this information deserves not to go in the public domain, then my advice is do all that is necessary to ensure that confidential detail does not go in the public domain. Let me give you an example. When I take sessions on using AI for audit, I come across chartered accountants who say that they upload the entire purchase register on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to identify queries and audit that purchase data. My question to this August gathering is, does any of our clients' procurement details deserve to go in the public domain? Of course not. From which parties my client is purchasing? What rates it is purchasing? This is privileged private information available only to you as a professional. Most commercial banks in India, not most, all, every single commercial bank has asked its employees not to use any AI for professional work. Why? Banks are bound by RBI guidelines. If they put information in public domain which cannot go in the public domain, then their banking license can be jeopardized. Banking license will be at risk. The question is that commercial banks have a regulator which is as strict as RBI. We as professionals also have our regulator, our alma mater, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And I personally believe it must act strictly, and it will act strictly if it comes across instances where privileged professional information is put in the public domain. Sir, does this mean that we should not use AI for professional practice? This is not what I'm saying. This is not what I'm saying. We must have policies in place. Say, for example, our own firm has a documented policy for using AI for professional practice. Do's and don'ts. If tomorrow a peer reviewer walks in my organization and peer reviewer asks me that, Nikunj bhai, are you all using AI? I will say yes. Nikunj, what about policies for controlled or regulated use of AI? Then I must have a working policy in place. My appeal to all my fellow brothers and sisters, please don't put data on the public domain which you have yourself received as a part of privileged professional relationship. Only such data should go in the public domain, which you believe is harmless. Okay. So facts of the matter, the appellant filed its return of income. Return of income processed. Demand was 9,52,000 rupees. Grounds of that on the facts and in law. Look at the language. Maybe young chartered accountants who are not very conversant with drafting appeals may not have this approach, may not have this vocab. But AI from day one has this. Why? Of course, as I just explained, it's trained on millions and millions of pages of tax laws. That on facts and in law, CPC erred in levying surcharge at 37%, that the appellant had correctly computed surcharge at 15%, that failure of CPC to rectify this computational and legal error despite a valid application under 143 is arbitrary, unjust, and against principles of natural justice, that CPC action amounts to ignoring binding provisions of Finance Act and judicial precedents confirming the surcharge cap. Wow. Legal submissions, Section 2(9) of the Finance Act, CBDT circular, judicial precedents. Super. Hallucinations. Ashish, if you remember this. Hallucinations. What is the guarantee that the citation that the AI is giving right now is correct? It may, just like it has generated text in earlier paragraphs, it has maybe generated text over here also. Of course, it is likely that this text is generated. Much likely. Sir, what is the precaution that? One of my friends said that, sir, what if we give in the prompt and tell AI, do not hallucinate? Do not hallucinate. Of course. We laugh because we understand that such instructions will not work. What best we can do is, we can tell AI in the prompt itself that please give the source of any citation or case law that you use in your outputs. Wow. There are chances that, Ashish bhai, it will hallucinate and make up the source also. Huh? But at least if it gives a source and you click on that link, then no page will open. So you will come to know that all this is product of hallucination. Right? So, as I said, I'm going to share with you the techniques which you can use as precautionary measures to ensure that the output is reliable, of course, to the best of the extent. To the best of the extent. Okay. So, point number one, don't say do not hallucinate. Point number two is ask for sources, especially of citations and case laws that AI will generate in its output. Okay, so here they are: procedural draft, release sort. Okay, let me know if you'd like to customize into a formal Word document or submitted in the form of Form 35 format. Wow. See, it is anticipating what a professional will do next. Once he has got this basic document in place, he will want to fill Form 35. He will want to fill Form 35. So this is the power, this is the quality of output that you can expect from AI, provided you have done your homework, and your homework is this on the screen. A prompt that has all these three qualities. It is specific enough, gives full details of the background. Number two, it asks AI how it should act. And number three, it tells AI the format in which you want the desired output. I would like to take a pause over here. Ashish bhai, you can maybe my kind request, and you can also request on behalf of ICI, if participants have any thoughts so far, any questions so far, then I would like to address them before moving to the next case study.
So the query should be related to till now, or they may have any
Right.
queries.
Ashish bhai, not just participants, sir. In fact, even if you have some thoughts, it will be a pleasure to know them, and maybe to address them to the extent I know.
And
No,
considering the present scenario, and
no, Ashish bhai, your voice is cracking. I'm unable to hear anything.
chat GPT with DT, they have on their website, which is very useful, which you have rightly mentioned in the initial stage of your session, sir. And there have been few queries also related to it, how to use it, or how we can make the maximum utilization of that chat GPT in our practice, which our alma mater has been incorporated in their website.
Right. So as I said, the our wisdom lies in understanding where to use AI, and most importantly, where not to use AI. So sometimes we get excited, and in that excitement mood where we are told that you can use AI for just almost everything, we would want to get a statement of total income done from AI or a tax audit report done from an AI. See, tax audit reports and statement of total income follow predefined rules. You don't need generative capabilities. That is what my experience has taught, of course. I'm not saying this on behalf of the ICI, but this is my experience. Don't really use AI for that. Use AI for something which truly requires application of human intelligence. Drafting is one large area. Use AI. You'll get phenomenal results. Phenomenal. Ashish bhai, have I been able to answer your question? Ashish bhai?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have I been able to answer this question, that where to use AI, queries like?
So your voice is not audible. Really sorry for that.
Okay. Have I been able to answer this question, that where you can use AI and where not to use AI?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Okay. So if there are no more queries, then we can go to
So
the.
there are few more queries which are related to the whole session. So if you suggest, we can take it now or towards the end of the session,
No,
as
let
per
us
your
take it
convenience,
now.
sir.
Let us take it now. Let us take them now.
Okay, okay, okay. So there was a query from Deepak Nagori ji, which AI bot is best for direct tax practice?
Right.
Which AI bot is best for direct tax practice?
Okay. So this question I have been asked so many times, so many times. That's a which AI tool to use? Huh? Which AI tool to use? Okay. So I'll give you first the short answer. And when institute calls me for a full day seminar, I will give a long answer also. Okay. So the short answer is that for drafting and text related work, I have experienced that ChatGPT works very well. It works very well. For work, professional work, where numbers are involved, say for example, audits. In that, Perplexity I have found works better. There are reasons for that, and if you ask me to share the reasons, then that is the long answer, where I've requested that you can invite me for a full day session, and I will be more than happy to share why this is so. But the short answer is that yes, go with ChatGPT and you'll get very good outputs for drafting related work. Drafting related.
So ChatGPT is there was another query at GPT that whether ChatGPT custom GPT on Income Tax Bill 2025 can be used for checking the provisions of Income Tax 2025. I mean,
Can
sir,
be
you're asking
used,
related to the ChatGPT in ICI.
right. So can be used, not a problem. However, I would advise not to use because it's fairly simple thing. See, don't use ChatGPT for things that a Control F can do. Control F is just simply find. Okay, use it for some complex professional work. Then you will be able to harness its capabilities. So just provisions, yeah. If it's about interpretation of provisions, then I would say yes, use it there. Not just about finding a provision or something related to that.
So
This question, Ashish.
summarizing the provision or breaking the provision is better through ChatGPT as comparative to finding the provision.
Yes, yes, definitely. Application also. So you can ask ChatGPT to explain that provision to you, summarize it with the help of an illustration or example.
So the next question was also in the same line. What are the basic or good ChatGPT tools which can be used in day-to-day tax practice? And so far as the secrecy of client is concerned, how we can maintain that?
Okay. So let me, the first question I think need not be answered. ChatGPT is good enough. I mean, second question is that how do you maintain privacy and confidentiality of data? What we do, I'll tell about that. So whenever we are uploading anything, we ensure that the names are completely omitted. So you can invest money in a good PDF editor, edit the PDFs or the Excel outputs in a way that all the names are randomized. Okay. So once the name is randomized now, then you are pretty sure that other details that are there become almost irrelevant. I'll give you an example. If someone wants to find queries from a sales register, then the entire customer data should be randomized. So if there are 12,000 names in that customer data, then randomize those 12,000 names for some dummy names. 12,000 dummy names. How to do this is again a separate story. You can use technology again for randomizing name, which is not very, very difficult. Some simple VLOOKUPs can help you randomize. But please randomize names, and randomizing names will ensure at least one basic level of control that can safeguard confidentiality and privacy of your client's data. No uploading outputs on ChatGPT in their original formats. So पूरे का पूरा CPC से आया हुआ 143.1, please do not upload there because it has all names and everything at one place.
Okay, thank you. The next query is, can ICI start educating members on using ChatGPT from scratch to expert? And I think so. The recent AI courses, certification courses are best answers for it.
Absolutely,
Already,
Ashish.
Institute have taken more than 500 batches.
Absolutely. And we are so proud of our institute, the one first and till date, one of the only bodies that has a structured modular course on AI, certificate course. So now we have also announced level 2 course. I would appeal to all my professional brothers and sisters, the earliest opportunity that they get, enroll for that course. Super course. And again, in all humbleness, I'm happy to share, Ashish ji, I'm also one of the faculty on that course. Yes, and ICI has been kind to allow me, to give me this opportunity to contribute in that course also. So my earnest appeal to all my fellow professional brothers and sisters, super course institute itself has, and they start with concept scratch, and they'll take you in 3 days to a reasonably advanced level. That is level 1, and then there is level 2, which is like level 2 is next level actually. Okay, of course we have not started the batch for public, but soon it's in the pipeline and we'll start soon.
That is what, sir. The Alma Mater has already started the course 1 for AICA, which
Level
is
1.
very useful for all the professionals. So the next question is, how the Copilot and Gemini stands for drafting against the ChatGPT?
Okay. So, okay, both of them, I would only say, do a good job. Okay, you will not go wrong. It's about personal preferences. So I'm not belittling Gemini or Copilot in any way. They're good applications. I mean, Bill Bhaiya has also invested a lot, you know. Right.
So we can go ahead with your session because the queries are still pending. We can take it in the next half of the session, sir.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with the session. Thank you. So let us go to the second case study. So one of our client received a order and it levied penalty. In the order of course went against the assessee, but in the order, the officer also talked about initiating penalty proceedings under section 271 1C, 1B and 1F. Okay. So give you a little background. Let me give you a little background. It is there on the screen, but I'll give you a little background. This will help you understand what this already there on the screen. Okay. So what has happened is one of our clients who resides in a cooperative housing society, they went for redevelopment of that cooperative housing society. As a part of redevelopment process, the part rate agreement was entered by the members, the cooperative housing society, and the developer. And accordingly, the development rights, a conveyance was executed in favor of the developer. Because a conveyance was executed, the society received an assessment order saying that this capital gains. So how capital gains? Because you have sold the land. Or we have not sold the land. But first point is, how come directly the assessment order came? See, the cooperative housing society was demolished and redevelopment was to happen. While it was demolished, all people who were members of that housing society were asked to move to an alternate accommodation, which means at that registered place, there was nobody to take any notice that income tax department would have sent the data from the registration authorities directly went to the income tax department. In fact, the cooperative housing society was not even filing returns. Basis the data that income tax department received from the registration authorities, it issued notices. Because the society was not filing returns, the income tax department did not have the email ID also. It sent physical notices, and physical notices were not delivered because there was nobody to accept the notice there. Because the notices were not accepted and they were not responded to, the income tax department had no other choice but to make an order. And it made an order against the society saying that so much capital gains, and most importantly, the penalties also. So now, when they got the order, the client came running to us. This is what we asked ChatGPT to do. We said that identify key issues and next steps to be taken. We have started discussion with the client for issues in the conversation. Here are some additional facts. The society has not registered on the income tax portal. Number one. Number two, the society entered into a tripartite agreement. Builder has paid stamp duty for registration of deemed conveyance. No money is received by the society. In real life, no money is received, but because stamp duty is paid on deemed conveyance, it is paid on the market value. And that market value, the income tax department took as consideration. It did not have any information about the cost, so it took cost as zero. No communication is received by the society as the plot was under construction and not registered. The challenge is the penalty on factual ground. Considering this draft and appeal that challenges the penalty on factual ground, summarizes the statement, request for relief of waiver or reduction, includes relevant case laws, ensure that appeal is persuasive. While forming Form 35, there is restriction of words up to 2000 words of fact that can be included. So summarize the above facts for each in less than 2000 words. So see friends, what I am expecting from AI to do. I am expecting AI to do all the work for me. I not only want it to draft grounds of appeal and statement of fact, I am also saying that when I am going to form file 35, I will have to file form 35 where I will have to state the grounds of appeal and statement of fact in less than 2000 words. So please do that also for me. And let us see and let us see what AI has to do for us. So read the attached order and summarize the key issues in the order and next course of action. Okay. So next course of action, suggested ground of appeal. Let us look at what ground of appeal it says. The order passed under 147 read with section 144 is bad in law. Read with section 144, which means this is best judgment, of course, because the notices were not responded. As no proper opportunity was being heard, officer erred in making additions without furnishing specific details. Society is a mutual concern. Any receipt from its members is exempt on the principle of mutuality. Assessment order is passed, violation principle of national justice. Reopening is bad as there was no tangible material before the assessing officer. Very, very important ground it took. Very important. See, friends, all those who are well versed with the technical aspects of when a matter can be opened in section 140 under section 147. The assessing officer must have some tangible evidence. Just basis the information that is passed on by stamp duty and registration office, can it reopen? So that is challenged in this grounds of appeal. Now, just think about this. How intelligent is AI to pick up that ground after reading the assessment order? That it read the assessment order and it realized that let me take a ground where I can challenge the reopening of the assessment itself, that this is bad in law. Wow. If you go to a practitioner who has at least 10 years of practice experience, then you will find such kind of acumen and insightful appeal drafted. So here is the suggested ground of appeal. Let us see next. Below is a draft of income tax statement of facts. Look at the statement of facts that it is drafted. Appellant is a cooperative housing society. Not filed return. There was no taxable income. Not registered on the income tax portal. Tripartite agreement. Look, all important points it has highlighted. No consideration, monetary or otherwise, was received by the society, which means the stamp duty was paid just on the deemed value, deemed conveyance value. Exactly, it identifies all this. The stamp duty on registration of deemed conveyance was paid by the developer, not the society. Ownership and possession of the building remained with the society. Did not receive any prior communication or notice. The order has been passed ex parte. Order has been passed ex parte. Assessee came to know of the proceedings only after the issue of the assessment order. This is the grounds of appeal. Every single ground of appeal is also supported by a relevant case law. Not taxable, penalty unjustified, assessment. The assessing officer, the sixth ground, one of the very, very important grounds. Assessing officer has not brought on record any bank credit, cash receipt or document showing income accrued to the society, which means that the entire reopening is bad in law. It couldn't have been reopened. Relief sought. Please confirm if you'd like this. Yes. Examine penalty order. Below is a comprehensive formal representation to the income tax officer. Request of keeping penalty proceedings in abeyance. Super. Just as we file an appeal, on the same day, the practice is that we must file a request to the assessing officer to keep penalty proceedings under abeyance. Why? because the matter itself is under adjudication. Let the adjudicating authority, appellate authority first adjudicate, and then penalty proceedings may be initiated. So we write to you as, of course, we change the name of the assessee pending this legal support, jurisdictional, financial hardship. Very, very important point. Just look at the acumen with which the ChatGPT is drafting. Failure was neither willful nor malicious, and the prayer yours sincerely. Wow. So I would like to take a pause over here and once again do a recap of all that AI did so marvelously for us. I simply uploaded the order. That's it. And I gave a little more background, asked AI two things. Grounds of appeal, statement of fact, number 1. Number 2, put penalty proceedings under abeyance. Draft all this. And the entire draft, also with less than 2000 words, is ready. Picking up grounds that are so technical in nature that maybe an inexperienced, a novice practitioner may miss out. So here we are. I would like to take a pause over here. Ashish ji, your thoughts, your experiences before we move ahead.
So if you allow, we can take a few queries also, considering the
Yes.
time.
Sure.
Okay. So there was a query which mentioned as it was related to case 1 where section 154 application is still pending and time limit for filing the appeal to CIT appeals comes near. What will AI do?
Okay. So
it is related to section 154. If that is pending, what can AI
Right.
help us to do?
Right. So AI will draft this accordingly. So AI will say that 154 is pending. Nevertheless, out of abundant caution, the appeal is being preferred. It will draft the entire appeal accordingly. See, you are filing an application, and this is again Piyush Bhai or Nihar sir may be able to explain better. I'm not an authority on this, but being a chartered accountant and of course practicing, you are preferring an appeal out of abundant caution should the 154 rectification go against you. So what do you generally do? In your appeal, you say that you have preferred an application for rectification, however it is pending, and out of abundant caution, you are filing this appeal. So this is exactly what AI will also do.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible.
Okay. So there are few queries which are related to prompt engineering. I mean, they are giving examples, live examples, and they are asking what sort of prompt engineering we shall be preferring. So I think in that case, they should be asking or dealing by one-to-one case basis. So will you like to have any of these cases?
So Ashish
Because
Bhai, this is
every
exactly
prompt,
where no. So Ashish Bhai, this is exactly where I'm saying that ICI needs to take the next steps. Popularize prompt engineering at all levels, starting from, most importantly, study circle level. See, study circles are close-knit communities where members can open up. Why? Because one of their fellow members is there as a facilitator, as a faculty. And so many chartered accountants I know are already good at prompt engineering. Right from study circles to seminars, conferences, take prompt engineering and training on prompt engineering at all levels. I will be happy to contribute in whatever way you people deem fit. And like me, there'll be so many other professionals who will be happy to contribute, right? The only regret right now is that if in these 2 hours specific cases for prompt engineering we take, then we may go sidetrack. We may go sidetrack.
True. True.
At the same time, I have explained you the 3 essential components of prompt engineering. So keep on following those 3 essential components. As I always say, principles are easy to understand. The application is a challenge, which can be perfected by practice. Keep practicing, keep practicing.
Sir, few of our members are willing to know about the ChatGPT tool, which is being introduced by ICI at their site.
Okay, so by all means use that tool, because ICI has taken care to specifically give it or feed it knowledge base most relevant, most updated to income tax. So the difference between normal ChatGPT and this ChatGPT is that institute is taking special care to feed institute's direct tax GPT with all latest amendments, changes in laws, and evolutions in the direct tax field. So by all means, you must use it, must use it.
So there are just 1 or 2 more questions, so we can take that in the end. If you suggest, if there is any
Perfect.
further
Perfect.
deliberation from your side.
Yes, yes. Let us take this generally happens. Sometimes you get assessment orders that allow me to say this because we are all within our professional brothers and sisters, that where officer has neither looked left nor looked right, left, right, and center, the order is passed without considering even basic things, and high pitch demands and high pitch orders are made. You go to appeal and it will ask you to deposit 20% of the tax amount. One of our clients got a demand of over 100 crores and he wanted to go for appeal, and he was asked to deposit 20% of this. 20% of a few 100 crores. Gone crazy, crazy. So in such instances, you would typically want to put in place mechanisms that will help you get a stay of demand. And this is exactly where you put ChatGPT into action. And here is the prompt that we prepared. Okay. So application for stay of demand and not enforcing 20% pre-deposit of assessed tax in case of high-pitched assessments. So the assessee has filed an appeal. Demand raised in the said assessment order is substantial. Department is directed to pay 20%. It is respectfully submitted that assessment was completed ex parte. Very important. Assessee did not receive any notice due to inactive email ID. Consequentially, assessee was unable to participate in proceedings. Addition made is highly exaggerated and disproportionate, with the assessed income being 33 times the actual income. 33 times. Okay. So, considering the above background, review the attached enforcement notice from Income Tax Department, draft a stay petition before Jurisdictional Principal Commissioner requesting immediate suspension of enforcement, including arguments for granting a stay, proof of irreparable harm, precedents where similar stay petitions were allowed, and alternate reliefs in case the stay is not granted. Ensure petition follows proper legal submissions formats for Jurisdictional Principal Commissioner. Let us look at what solution ChatGPT gave. Okay. So below is a professionally to the Jurisdictional Principal Commissioner, sir, madam, background of the case. Assessment was completed ex parte. Assessee did not receive any statutory notice. Resultant assessment order passed 33 times. Total demand raised so much against interest of so much. 20% of distributed amount is a precondition. Grounds for stay and explanation. Look at the format in which. Beautiful. The principal commissioner, who is always, burdened with work, will can go through this so lucidly, in a lucid style. I always remember my senior guiding me, saying that, Nikunj, if we make the life of the officers easy, then in turn, they will make our clients' life easy. So we must respect the kind of onerous duty that these officers have and try to do whatever we can to make their life easy. They are not overburdened. You explain things in a lucid manner. Okay. And what can be more lucid than this? Ex parte order, high-pitched assessment, financial hardship, immediate recovery will cause irreparable harm, disrupt operations and affect livelihood of the assessee and employees, thereby attracting relief under section 226. Appeal has been filed and meritorious case. Proof of irreparable harm, assessee has limited liquidity, attachment or coercive liquidity will severely impact day-to-day operations. No prejudice will be caused to revenue if recovery is deferred till disposal of appeal. However, immediate recovery will cause irreversible harm. Legal support, prayer, declaration, so on and so forth. So friends, a fully structured, perfectly structured petition, stay petition before the principal commissioner is also an output of AI. And this is actually more or less ready to print, just some corrections here and there, some changes here and there that you may want to make. And bang, this goes to the principal commissioner with an invoice to the client. With an invoice to the client. So friends, as I look at the watch, I believe this is the end of today's session on using AI for tax practice. I brought to the table as much experience that I could accumulate in the time that I had and share with participants. Once again, I would like to express my deep and sincere gratitude to ICAI in general and Shri Piyush Bhai, in particular for having me here, for giving me this opportunity. My hearty thanks to Ashish for being around to ensure that I'm not speaking to IP addresses, I'm speaking to humans. And I do look forward to reconnecting with all you lovely participants sometime next, sometime soon. तब तक के लिए खुश रहें, अपना ख्याल रखें. Do have a pleasant evening ahead. Thank you and Jai Hind. Over to you, Ashish. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, there is just a single query pending, if it's possible.
Please.
I would say that is actually an appreciation to us ICI Institute, because he or she likes to know, is there any AI tool applicable to automatically take notes during ICI webinars through ICI TV? That itself shows that there are so many works which ICI is taking and they need the AI to summarize all those sessions. So over to you for that answer, sir.
Yes. So there is a tool built into Zoom which can take notes automatically. Only thing is you need to administrator's permission to take that. And number one, and number two, there is a subscription for it. My 2 cents worth to ICI is this, that ICI must definitely subscribe to this and ensure that it is on. This 2 hour can be summarized by AI, both Hindi, English, whatever variations language I'm using, it will be summarized and it summarizes it so well. At the end, you can pass on this summary to the participants, is a small suggestion from me.
Zoom itself has a tool for this. So feel free to use. Feel free to use. You don't have to go out anywhere for this tool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your insightful experiences and knowledge. यहाँ सर डीटी का हमारा सेशन चल रहा था और वहाँ डीटी से रिलेटेड, डायरेक्ट टैक्स से रिलेटेड कुछ डेट एक्सटेंशन की कुछ अच्छी न्यूज इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से आई है जो सभी को शायद खुश कर देगी थोड़ी सी देर में. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सर, जैसे आपने पहले ही स्टार्टिंग में बताया कि एआई आउटपुट्स आर नॉट कंप्लीट बट स्टिल दे आर यूजफुल, और उसका एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल आज का ही था कि जब मैंने आपका बहुत 4 पन्नों का सीवी एआई को दिया समराइज करने के लिए, तो उसने कुछ पॉइंट्स लिए, लेकिन आपका एक इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो स्पोर्ट्स का था वो उसने नहीं लिया. दैट इटसेल्फ शोज कि इट इज यूजफुल बट नॉट कंप्लीटली. So that was an example which I was willing to mention here. With this, I would like to thank each and everyone present here. I would like to thank the DT committee, the chairman, CA Piyush sir. I would like to express my gratitude to the vice chairman, Vishnu Kumar Agrawal sir. I am indebted to our today's speaker, CA Nikunj Shah sir, and to all the members along with technical committee who has been here throughout and enjoying with more than presence of more than 1,000 members at a time. Thank you one, thank you all.
Thank you and Jai Hind. Thank you.
Yes sir, yes.